Happy birthday, America. We're still here, right?
Hanging on by a thread.
A tiny thread. But Mike, are you planning on, you're in the DC area, are you planning on going to any America 250 events?
No, I will not be going to any America 250 events. And apparently neither will anyone else. It appears that it is probably the lowest attended event that I've ever seen for a 4th of July festival in Washington, D.C. And remember, I spent 20 years working as a cop there, living in D.C., working every single 4th of July. And, if you believe your lying eyes, they'll tell you that there's no one there. Although there was a guy there, I think that the opening day that was caught masturbating to the Cirque du Soleil acrobats that were performing. But as far as I know, that and Donald Trump opening the festival himself because no musical performers would sign up and calling Democrats libtards in a moment of unity and togetherness. Those are pretty much the highlights of the entire event. That and all of the right-wing media types who have desperately been trying to paint this as a well-attended, amazing event. I will not be there. I will be in Philadelphia attending the France-Paraguay World Cup game with my ex-wife and kids. Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I didn't even think we were going to talk about the World Cup today. And now this is a special World Cup edition of the Revolution.
That's right. Yeah, I will be, I'll be there sweating my balls off alongside.
Is it not indoors? It's a outdoor stadium?
It's outdoors. Yeah. It's going to be a hot one, but I'd rather be there than in Washington, D.C. at Donald Trump's shitty, white supremacist redneck state fair.
Well, and I do think it's interesting because there are so many international visitors in the US right now, and I don't see too many viral trending videos of them getting excited about seeing America's capital. And isn't that what Trump said? Like, oh, it's we're going to beautify it. It's a tourist attraction, and I don't see anybody wanting to even go.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Washington, D.C. has always had its problems. It has had a problem with crime ever since I lived there. It has a problem with poverty. It has a problem with, lack of opportunity for about 2/3 of its permanent residents. These are systemic problems that have existed for a really long time. That being said, Donald Trump has destroyed Washington, D.C. He has literally turned it into what he himself would describe, I think, as a shithole country. There's just nothing left. Hundreds and hundreds of restaurants have closed. Tourism is hit rock bottom. The reflecting pool looks like a public housing project swimming pool that hasn't been attended to in decades. I don't know,
I mean, but it's all just speaks to the fact that this is where we're at 250 years. And so I always like to use the birthday, like my birthday, to reflect on my previous year, what I've accomplished, what I haven't accomplished, how I feel about life in general, and set a plan for the future. And so how would you rate Trump's last year, the Trump administration's last year, what they've planned for the country and where we might be headed after this?
To say it deserves an F. I think, I got some Fs when I was in high school, and I worked damn hard for those Fs. So I think that we have got to come up with a whole new grading system. But I'm confident in saying that Donald Trump is the worst president to ever have
presidented.
presidented. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, and also abroad, people are saying the same thing as well. He's polling very lowly. I was talking to my friend Adrian, who is based in Madrid, and he's like, "Yeah, in Spain, everybody hates him." And it's what my concern is not enough people are speaking up right now about what we want to see for even the next 250 years. Like the conversation right now is Democrats arguing about Democratic Socialists of America's candidates winning in several key primaries, and I'm going, okay, we got midterms coming up. We need to at least focus on what the game plan is for winning, regardless. Like we don't need to be our own worst enemy right now by handing over any cannon fodder to Republican candidates who are running.
Yeah, I mean, and this is, that's the other, I guess, story is that, while we have Republican Party destroying the country and, tearing us apart, you have the Democratic Party that just can't seem to, get its foot out of its own mouth. Or I don't even, it's not even the right analogy because they're not even talking or doing anything. You've got the people who are demanding something from the Democratic Party that they, the corporatist Democrats, the establishment party seems unwilling to deliver on their behalf. And so you have, people running around with their heads cut off, screaming about all of these, quote unquote, Democratic socialists that are winning elections across the country. And even, in Colorado, just recently, unseating a establishment Democratic incumbent. And so the people are demanding, and then, the right, they paint this as like, oh, we're going into socialism in this country. Like, listen, I've heard that argument before, and for a really long time, I bought into it myself. But then you start to listen to what it is that, these individuals, these candidates are trying to deliver for their constituents. And it's things like free healthcare, not affordable healthcare, free healthcare. And the myth that would break this country, I think, has been debunked at this point because we've gone down the rabbit hole with all of these Trump-esque MAGA things that should have broken the country but didn't. And so I think that people are ready for something different. Dare I say something radically different from the Democratic Party. And I would hope that they would get on board and get ahead of this before the midterm elections. Otherwise, if we don't go into the midterms with a unifying message and a unified party, it's just going to make things that much more difficult going into the next presidential election.
Yeah, and I think leaning into the fact that what you said, like people just want to have an affordable life. They want to be able to afford to be American. That's it. And that is not a radical idea. And Democrats have always made it seem like it was impossible to achieve those things. And so we have to be very centrist in what we ask for. And I think with some of these candidates like Mamdani showing that, now that he's mayor, actually saying, look, I was able to accomplish many of the things I said I would do because I just decided to do them. And obviously he has a different ability to be able to make things happen in New York than maybe other mayors in other cities. But the point is, it's doable. And I think people are a little frustrated with the fact that Democrats try to pretend like things aren't achievable because it is too radical. So we have to stay. And it's like, it hasn't helped us. It would be one thing if it helped us win elections to stay right there in the center and go, oh, well, we'll win because MAGA is so extreme that people will just vote for us just to avoid MAGA. And we obviously know that's not the case. And even right now, as Donald Trump is making it very clear that he does not care about affordability for Americans, we have a clip. He was interviewed, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but in response to the struggles of the American people.
Laura, I would love it if Democrats were willing, not that they are going to agree with Republicans all the time, but if they were willing to work with us on lowering housing prices, on lowering gas prices, on actually making the lives of American citizens better,
There was a bipartisan housing bill, so that Trump, I believe, still has not signed. I don't know if he's going to try to veto it or let it go into effect. And Sam, if we do have the clip of Trump talking, I believe he's on the tarmac and being asked about affordability. I would love to see that too, because I think it's important to really see how casually and callously he describes the American people.
Yeah, and I think it's important to add too, Maya, is Trump's idea for lowering housing prices, this administration's big plan was to introduce the 50-year mortgage. That was how they were planning on, so it's like, what we'll do is you're still going to be paying exorbitant prices for housing, but we'll make it 50 years, beyond most people's lifetime once they actually purchase a home. And so, yeah, I mean, there's no plan for real affordable housing in the way that is meaningful and would have an actual impact on Americans' lives.
And Trump doesn't care. So let's see what he has to say, though.
Your financial disclosure shows you had a very lucrative year last year. What message does this send to average Americans, especially those who may be struggling right now financially?
I don't get involved in my personal. We have funds that run my money.
I don't get involved. The question was, what do you have to say to the American people? And his response, it didn't seem to speak to that at all.
Yeah, I mean, he responds exactly the way that I would expect a rich, unempathetic asshole to respond to a question like that, and is that he doesn't care. He has enriched himself astronomically in his first term. First few months or year of his term, I think he's up like $1.3 billion in crypto and NFT and whatever other con games that he's been playing with market money. But he has always been someone who condescends to the average American. He doesn't care. He never cared. It was always a con, a grift. And now I think Americans are starting to recognize that that's the case, that none of his plans, if you can even call them plans, concepts of plans, have anything to do with actually making Americans' lives better and lowering prices so that the average American can afford just to live. I mean, we're not even talking about, pursuing like the white picket fence and the American dream. I'm just talking about survival because most Americans that I know at this point are barely surviving. And a lot of them are dipping into to credit cards to try to, outlive the Trump administration, so to speak.
Well, and God forbid somebody have a medical emergency right now. And with the fact that most people's insurance is tied to their employment, and employment is at risk because of AI, and then that's not being addressed by the Trump administration either. And I believe they're still at concepts of a plan for replacing Affordable Care Act healthcare. It just puts people in an incredibly precarious and stressed out situation, which is, again, no surprise as to why people aren't excited to make a beeline to his America 250 celebration.
Yeah, no, I've talked about it a billion times before. I mean, I purchased my health insurance through the state marketplace in Virginia, and up until they eliminated the subsidies for the Affordable Care Act, I was paying, for me and my three youngest daughters, I think I was paying somewhere around $1,400 a month. That jumped to almost $2,200 a month. I mean, that is an astronomical increase, almost $800 a month. And the Republican Party, this administration, has no plan whatsoever to replace that, to do anything in its stead. And so,
Yeah, and just so people know, healthcare doesn't have to cost that much. Here in Portugal, I have private healthcare, and I'm also eligible if I would like to use the public healthcare system. And my healthcare monthly cost is, do you want to take a guess, Michael, what it is?
$100.
80 euros. So yeah, about $100 a month. Yeah.
And I mean, are there people, because the other misconception that people always talk about is, there's people waiting in line for days to receive health care. The government makes decisions and they decide, well, you're not worth saving, so you're just going to die. As somebody who's received care on just about every continent, that's never been my experience.
It hasn't been my experience either. And for everybody who is watching the World Cup, I think most of the countries that are in the World Cup have universal health care, including the I don't know if Argentina is the favorite to win this year or if it's France, but they both have it. And when I was in Argentina, again, also public health care as well. And there were no long waits. It was, if you need healthcare, you need healthcare. And that's because other countries don't treat healthcare as a commodity. In the U.S., it's a profit-making system, and that isn't to say that it's not changing in Europe. Obviously, a lot of times they look at what we're doing and they go, "Oh, they're making a lot of money, these
right.
healthcare companies." And so, hopefully, they don't start to adopt that model elsewhere, because we see in the U.S. it doesn't work, and so. Yeah, this America 250 leaves a lot to be desired as far as people voting, getting what they voted for, because with all these SCOTUS decisions that just came out, it makes me think, was this worth it, y'all? The people who voted for Trump, they were able to ban trans athletes. They can do that now in states, and it's like, was that really affecting your life? People who voted for Trump, he promised you cheaper groceries and no men and women sports. Well, he gave you one of them that didn't even actually affect your life, because I can guarantee you, I would say 99.9% of Trump voters do not have a child or grandchild, or they themselves are competing against trans women in sports.
Yeah, no, I mean, it seems like the only deliverables available to this administration are the culture war, that don't impact the vast majority of Americans' lives, but are, unabashedly cruel. And, I don't know. I just, I hope that people are waking up to what this administration promised, what they're delivering on, and get past the things like banning trans athletes as being an accomplishment, rather than just another example of the cruelty of the people that are currently in power in this country.
Well, and it was interesting because I looking at some of the commentary under, and you never know if it's bots, right? Some of the hateful commentary that you see under posts about it, and some of them, I saw one that said, well, if Cheryl Swoops is a great athlete, and if she had to compete against Michael Jordan, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, first, like, Michael Jordan's not a trans woman, for one, and also feminizing hormones are exactly that. They're feminizing hormones. So would it be Michael Jordan at age 15 after 2 years of estrogen and having puberty blockers, so he doesn't have any has repressed testosterone? Like, some of these arguments under the post drive me nuts, because I want to type, are you stupid? And I know I can't do that. I might have this morning. I might have said things like, it would be really helpful if you were to read a peer-reviewed study. Media, all caps.
Yeah, good luck with that. But I try not to gauge, the what's happening in the world by what's happening on social media anymore. I've completely rid my life of social media altogether. But I do look at, what's happening outside of, outside of my apartment. And listen, I mean, like racism, sexism, misogyny, homophobia, anti-trans ideology is alive and well in America. And, Donald Trump has given those people a license to express those opinions publicly. And I, nearly a day goes by where I don't, hear somebody use some language to, expressing those types of opinions publicly. And so it is a problem. I think that, again,
I was gonna say, you mean like JD Vance, our vice president? Like he's in I guess a podcast interview with Michael Knowles, who said, famous for saying that they need to outbreed the left. Yes, it was a clip from several years ago.
Well, if men look like Michael Knowles and look like JD Vance and look like Steve Miller, fucking good luck.
The incels are never going to outbreed.
Yeah. You might have to get some ringers to come in for your cause. But yeah, I mean, I heard the comment JD Vance was talking about, like under the Trump administration, people stopped putting out signs talking about like, love is love and, all of these like positive things, showing support for, I think, one, compassion and empathy, which should be universal, but also showing compassion or showing support for communities like the trans community, like the, gay LGBTQ plus community, things like that, which, again, I don't know why anybody would celebrate the suppression of Americans feeling comfortable caring about their neighbors.
Well, and it's not, and he speaks obviously he's on his little book tour, but he sings a different tune when he's on The View versus when he's on a tiny podcast that he thinks that moderates won't see. And so to speak about diversity in a way that basically he's got brown kids, like, and so he goes on and he goes on these podcasts that he knows that are just going to be a bunch of extreme right-wing folks who are going to cheer him on. And then those clips don't make it out of that ecosystem. And I think they need to, because what makes me very, concerned when I see him on The View or even on Bill Maher is that in those interviews, he comes across, I'm never going to say he comes across as charming, but he is making himself come off a little less extreme than he actually is.
I think that's one of the reasons why JD Vance has become like the spokesperson for MAGA at this point, is that he's a chameleon and he tailor fits his messaging to the audience that he's performing in front of. You make no mistake about it. JD Vance only cares about the progression of JD Vance's career. But yeah, I mean, listen, I am no fan of Bill Maher. I think that guy is a crotchety old fucking shitbag. And I can't stand him. But for whatever reason, he's got an audience. And yeah, I mean, it's, but I don't know. I'm not afraid of JD Vance. Like, I think like I don't think he's a threat I don't think anybody likes the guy. I think he's universally disliked and despised by everyone,
including his wife. I'm almost sure of it.
I would fucking hope so, because this is a guy that goes out pretty much daily and disparages her and her children, which are his children too. But and then claims to be a loving father. I feel sorry for his kids.
As do I, because they're stuck in obviously a untenable situation that they have just no control over whatsoever. I wish those kids could liberate themselves from that.
Right, because, and this is my biggest argument all the time with these, like, you're a person of color. Your husband, I don't know if he has any ideology or any, thoughts on this whatsoever, but he represents and supports a racist homophobic, Islamophobic, xenophobic, all the fucking things. He is the representative of that fucking movement. And you are lending some degree of insulation to that, and him being able to say, look at my wife. She's Hindu and of color. And
when it's convenient for him to do so.
Right. And then when it's not, he's like, well, I wish you would convert to Christianity and, listen to her husband.
Yeah. It's like a love story made for Love Island, which I finally broke down and watched a single episode of Love Island today. Have you seen Love Island? Have you ever?
My kids love it. They watch it with my ex-wife. That's like one of those. I'm single. I'm a bachelor. If I had
somebody go on Love Island.
If I had somebody in my life, then maybe I would be forced into watching that.
Wait. You think only women watch Love Island?
Yes.
I mean, it's
women and that are forced. Maybe gay dudes. Gay dudes probably watch Love Island.
I don't know the demographics of who's watching. All I know is apparently it's one of the most popular
who I bet watches that shit? I bet the Trump sons are regular watchers of Love Island.
Oh yeah, probably just snorting coke and
those two that they tune in. That and the Kardashians. I don't know. I just think that when they were teenagers, they probably watched the Paris Hilton show.
Wait, which is there a new Paris Hilton show? I'm not up to date on all of these shows.
Like when they were teenagers, like back in the day.
Well, I mean, I watched Real World when it first came out, but that was the real world, it was new, it was innovative, it was like, oh my God, look at this fun new format. Okay. But watching the episode that I saw today and knowing that it's one of the most popular TV shows, and everybody says like they're hate watching it, or some people maybe hate watching, some not. I ask myself, with democracy like kind of on the line, and this is what everybody is watching, and then I watch the people on there and I'm like, oh dear God. This is not it. And so I don't know, maybe we need a Love Island, like that's like with political theory, like a political theory Love Island.
Engaged edition.
We could take it could be like a Love Island with like some MAGA folks, some like super leftists. It could be all these people who are, getting arrested and then released. Like I know she's in a relationship, but Kat, who ran for office, I could see her on one of these shows. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out here, guys. There's no bad ideas in brainstorming.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably tune into like MAGA. Like where all the guys are MAGA and all the women are like ultra woke, to include like trans women, which probably would be the first ones that the MAGA guys would fucking end up sleeping with.
I mean, according to their search histories, according to what we've seen on those like Google Cloud word map, like we know that's what they're searching. We know what they're searching. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like America needs apparently a better reason to pay attention to politics than democracy going over the edge. They need love. They need a real love story. And I don't mean Ken Paxton and his mistress.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I understand the ignorance is bliss theory. The problem, though, is that I think everyone's lives have been so adversely impacted by this administration that we see, the fruits of our labor, so to speak, or our, lack thereof. And you would hope that would be what inspires people to actually, set aside some time daily to be civically engaged, to get involved.
Oh, that's the name of the show, Civically Engaged. And it's like a crossover between like Love is Blind and so we could show how America could come together if like MAGA folks could fall in love with super woke folks, and then they come together and at the end they get engaged and then we save America. This is actually, I'm pitching this right now. This is now, I don't know if I think there's only one studio left. Like, I think it's just, they're all going to merge into one. It's just going to be like Paramount, Netflix, Apple TV. It's all going to be run by Ellison, but he's going to be like, this makes for great TV, Maya. And I'm going to go, yes, I know. Because people love a good love story.
Yes.
Like the couple that scaled the Empire State Building.
That was a couple? I didn't realize that was a couple.
Yeah, he proposed when they got up there.
Also, I have to applaud you. That was a hell of a transition there to the couple that scaled the Empire State Building story.
That's how my brain works. I was like, I'm going to get to that story. I was like, I'm going to figure out how to get to that story. But you gave me by saying engaged, by saying civically engaged, I was off running on that one. And honestly, civically engaged as a show, that's really good. Sam, are you writing this down?
What did the sign say that when they climbed up to the top of the Empire State Building?
I think it was I'm pretty sure they were protesting the Trump administration's hate for all things diverse, equitable, and inclusive. Like, I think it was like we love everybody and each other, let's get married sign. Can you throw it back up there? Can we see it on there? I think it's in tiny print. Oh Lord, I can't read that.
No.
Oh, where it is. Wait, when the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace. That's so beautiful.
It is.
And they risked their lives to do that, to go up there and scale. And so all I'm saying is, if it were a reality show and one of them were MAGA and one of them were not, and they made it all the way up to the top and didn't push
one of them is carrying like a Trump 2028 flag and the other one has that flag. Is that what
and it's like, when they get up there and they realize it's one or the other or both of them,
right,
their love prevails and they hang both flags. I don't know, because there's room for all ideologies in America.
No room for Trump 2028. I can tell you that much right now.
Okay, yes, you're right. You're right. There's no room for Trump. Yes. Though he keeps making that joke. So if he's alive and kicking, which I don't think he will be, yes, he did not want to spend his last months in prison. So I think he's going to have to, if he's still alive to run, he'll figure out a way to try to do it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, he's building shit kind of, which I know he likes to do, at least in his mind. He's building concepts of things and playing a lot of golf.
Yeah.
That's better than most old motherfuckers his age. So
it's true.
Most importantly, he's not in prison.
Not yet. Not yet. There's still hope. I have to hold out hope. I'm going to go into America 250 weekend holding that hope in my heart. That prison or a heart attack, whichever comes first, I will take either one at this point. So is everybody getting their grills and their barbecues ready?
Yeah, what are you doing for the
4th of July weekend? So I'm obviously not on the US right now. I'm here. And so it's a little sad because I love a good fireworks show. And so I have no fireworks show. And unfortunately, the embassy here is very MAGA aligned. And so they even had their own America 250 event in Lisbon. I saw the picture. I think
too. Yeah.
I wish I would have crashed it. I would have tried to figure out how to crash it if I knew. And so I'm just going to have to make my own red, white, and blue cake and eat a lot of cake and drink a lot of beer because I feel like I deserved it after surviving this year. I think we all deserve it. I think people who aren't civically engaged, however, if you see somebody who you know doesn't vote, doesn't speak up about the issues that are supposedly important even to them, because I hear people complain about stuff and then don't actually do anything to make a difference. If you see them at a 4th of July party, smack the beer out of their hand. No beer for you.
Yeah, I think we should carve out this 4 years and just pretend like it never happened. Like the Trump administration did with January 6th and slavery. So what we should just carve out these 4 years. It never happened. We'll redo the 250th birthday celebration, the way that it should be done. And, we will strike all memory of Trump from, the collective consciousness. And in fact, I think we should make it illegal. The word Trump should be illegal.
It'll be like swastikas in post-World War II Germany. Obviously, yes, because and I think because trauma does erase memories, I think we'll just forget about him anyway, which is his worst nightmare.
Definitely one of those guys that, like, once he dies, there's my
brain will take care of the rest.
Right. Every once in a while, somebody will be like, remember that morbidly obese, ridiculous game show host that we had as a president?
No, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Grandpapa, what was that like? I don't know. I was pretty much inebriated the entire time that during his second administration. Grandpa Kid, that was some dark times in Grandpa's life.
I think I might have to join you in this new plan. I think this is starting this weekend. I am just going to drink until every brain cell that has a memory of Trump on it is gone. Just gone.
Do you like margaritas?
I am not a margarita fan. I'm not going to lie. I'm sorry. I like dark beers. I like bourbon. I think I drink like a dude. I like.
You're more manly than me. I like margaritas.
I know.
Casamigos made a FIFA World Cup margarita blend, and it is.
I would have it probably sipping it. It sounds like something I could sip as opposed straight instead of in a margarita. No, my favorite drink is an old fashioned.
Old fashions are good.
Yeah, or a mezcal old fashioned, even better. That's back when I was in my drinking days. And of course, I'm going to be watching the World Cup this weekend. That is Argentina's playing against Cape Verde, which is going to be very stressful in my household because my daughter is Argentine and I am Black. So I'm like,
that's my team, Argentina.
I mean, it is my team too, technically. And so, but the first World Cup I ever really truly engaged with was 2006. I remember I was in Argentina when Messi played his first World Cup game. So the energy around it, there's nothing like watching a football game with a bunch of Argentines. It is just insane the way people react throughout the entire match. And so it's a little not they don't get as excited here in Portugal, but I will be watching all games this weekend. So America 250 plus.
I'll get you a jersey from what's his name? Mbappe. I'll get you
Mbappe.
Yeah.
I love saying Mbappe. It's one of my favorite things. I like Mbappe. It's just a fun name to say. Mbappe.
My daughter's this is probably going to be his last World Cup. He's so old.
Wait, he's not old.
He's 7 years old.
I was going to say, he's not old. But that's what's crazy to me is that I remember when Messi was a kid playing, and now he's old. Like, this is his last World Cup. And I'm like, whoa, all right.
Well, Diego Maradona was the one that brought me into Argentina. I just thought he was the coolest player, and also he was just, he was an amazing talent. And when he celebrated his goals by doing bumps on the field, that was...
I was going to say, I was like, he was also a raging cokehead, but I wasn't sure if people knew that. I think like in Argentina, everybody knows, like, I guess outside of the Mano de Dios, but also the line of, it caught up with him in the end. I do believe. I think I was there for that as well. That's sad. That is sad. I am excited about this weekend game. I do always root for the underdog though. So I will not be. I'm going to root for, I feel like I'm going to get a ton of hate for saying that I'm not going to root for
France.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to root. You're going to.
Oh yeah, for the Paraguay. It's Paraguay's playing France.
Yeah, Paraguay's playing France.
You know I'm rooting for Paraguay. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, I love Mbappe, but I'm rooting for Paraguay because, like, I have to. All of the former colonies, I have to root for them. Like, that's in the unwritten rules.
Well, I want Paraguay to win because I think that Argentina would have a better time beating Paraguay than they would France.
Ooh, okay, yes. So you're thinking long term. You're thinking brackets wise. I don't have that kind of object permanence. I'm just like, what's right in front of me? What are the next games? That's the ADHD in me. So, well, enjoy your time at the game. I am hella jealous. So have the most fun and soak it all in because you deserve it as well. And take lots of pictures so we can.
I will. I'll send you some.
Yeah, I definitely want to see those. So, all right, y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Hydrate because I think there's a heat dome. It's like 200 million degrees everywhere. So take your own hydration break. There'll be plenty at the games themselves, but I think we should institute hydration breaks just for people. We always need to drink water and show commercials during them, apparently. I don't know. All right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Adios.